Anti-Poverty Week Australia ran from the 14th to the 20th of October this year. Catherine McCallum, the National Liaison Officer for the Anti-Poverty Week organisation, explains what they hope to achieve.
I guess the goal of Anti-Poverty Week is to raise awareness of poverty and hardship in Australia and overseas in the local community. So when reforms are brought forward, such as the new National Disability Insurance Scheme or an increase to the New Start allowance, for example, there's greater public support and less opposition to such reforms.
What kind of events happen?
Oh, there's a huge range of events. We have big events that are sort of forums and that sort of thing, where we get a lot of prominent speakers, right down to sort of backyard sausage sizzles, which might be fundraising for a local charity. So we really encourage everyone to get involved in whatever way they can.
One event held as part of Anti-Poverty Week was a presentation by the Food Fairness Alliance. Speakers including Jerry Anderson, CEO of Foodbank, and Greens MP Jeremy Buckingham discussed food security.
That's what we're focusing on this evening, is about why it is that still in 2012, with Australia apparently the lucky country, apparently creating so much food we can export bucket loads of it overseas, but we're still failing to feed and adequately and properly feed so many of our own population. And the impacts of that are really devastating, both in terms of short and long-term health consequences and other consequences, which will be drawn up by some of our speakers later on this evening.
Blogger Lauren Quinn has organised and struggled through the $35 challenge for the second year in a row.
Okay, well the $35 challenge started last year, so this is the second time it's been run. And basically what it involves is participants have only $35 to spend on their food and drink for 1 week. Before they do the challenge, they calculate how much money they would spend on food in a week, and then they donate the remainder at the end of the challenge to Foodbank Australia. So it's a poverty awareness raising exercise that runs during Anti-Poverty Week, but it's also a fundraising exercise.
Irene Doutney was born and raised in Sydney's King's Cross, where she and her family lived in very poor circumstances. Having overcome many challenges, she is now a public housing tenant in Redfern, as well as being the Greens representative on the City of Sydney Council. Looking beyond Anti-Poverty Week, Councillor Doutney believes there is one specific change that needs to be made in order to address the issue of poverty in Australia.
But I think the big issue with poverty is actually raising Centrelink payments, the pension, so that people aren't put in that position. It's different for people who aren't on any benefits at all, and then you get like people sleeping in cars and things like that. They're really difficult problems to deal with because sometimes you don't even know what's going on, and it's huge. And the number of people I know who are lucky enough to be housed in public housing do have a lot of issues in terms of buying food. So they, like me, I know people who only eat once a day.
This is Kate Burgess for Study Break.